Hello, hello, hello. I hope this is working. Such famous words when you start one of these things. Hi, guys. I'm gonna just share this to. I can't share it. Oh well. So give us a shout out if you can hear me, because we are live. And I think there are 7 of you out there. Definitely. Oh, perfect. I could see. Put it in the comments section if you can see me. I could see you, but I'm still trying to figure out how to use the software so that I can actually see your comments, and I do. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. So good to see you. And I know there's others on, so yeah, just check in if you wouldn't mind, and let me know that you're here. I'm gonna start. Hi, Julia. Good to see you. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. I guess I'll just wait another minute. But before I begin, but like, so these sort of Facebook Live events are kind of new, so I'm still sort of testing it out, figuring out what is the best approach. But essentially, this is sort of like a news and views thing. It's a casual way of, checking in with the miniatures community. This is a curation of all of what's been happening for the week or past weeks, and just a chance for us to sort of connect and talk about our favorite topic, which is miniatures. So with that, those of you who are on already, I think you know who I am, but I'm a miniaturist. I'm an unapologetic miniaturist, is what I call myself. So I love the tiny. I live for the tiny. Thank you, Benny, about my hat. Do you like my hat? I like my hat. Hi, Alma. Um, Hi, cousin. Dorothy. Good to see you. So, I'm an unapologetic miniaturist, which means I love all mini things, but I don't really care who knows about it. Basically, but I sell miniatures is really what I do. But I also promote them every chance I can. Every chance I get, I promote miniatures, and I love to raise awareness of miniatures, especially as a fine art form. Which, it's not to say that dollhouses aren't terrific. They are. They're great ways to play, quote unquote, with miniatures, but I'm more drawn towards the finer miniatures out there, and I like to promote them as often as I can. And but like I said, I don't want to discount the dollhouse miniatures world. I kind of look at them as opportunities to sort of trade those folks up and sort of expose them to, you know, um, better crafted miniatures, better artists and things like that, so they can have a wider awareness of really just how great this miniatures world is. So before I really start, and I want to keep these things really short, like 20 minutes, half hour at the most, to keep people engaged. But I want to just mention Donald, my friend Donald, who helps me everywhere. He's great. He's going to do a lot of the posting of the links of the things that I talk about. So definitely check the comment section for things that I talk about, because there'll be links to where you can find out more information. So with that, I want to just give a recap of one of the other things I do to promote the miniatures world is I do a Meet the Miniaturist webinar on a fairly regular basis, usually on Sundays at 4. This time, I think? No, that's tomorrow at 4. But so we had one recently with featuring an amazing miniaturist out of Maysville, Kentucky, Kay Browning. She has an amazing collection in a museum, and she did a walking tour basically for us online, and she shared her collection with us, and it's pretty incredible. And I do have a replay of it. If you we're gonna put a link to the replay so that you can find it. But in the meantime, I just want to see if I can put an image of it here. I don't think so. Hold on. Maybe not. I thought I would be able to put an image up, but it's not. I'm not. Oh, there it is. No, that's the link. Sorry. There's the link. But I thought I would be able to put images up while I was sort of hosting this, but it's not looking like I can, which that's okay, because we're going to put links up and you'll be able to find at least what I'm talking about that way. So look for that. It's on replay on my YouTube channel. I also have another one coming up with on the 27th of this month, next week, at 4 o'clock with Fran Sussman. She's a miniaturist that works in 1/44th scale. She's going to be on for my next Meet the Miniaturist. She's really an interesting woman and really just an amazing perspective on making miniatures. Her background is in policy and policy, and she does a fair bit of writing and math, policy, economic policy. Sorry, that's what she does. And it's amazing how all of that work translates to how she makes miniatures. So look for that. I encourage you to register for that Zoom. These are free events. You're welcome to sign up. I do have a minimum. We max out at 100 people. And right now we're just about reaching that. And so I'm definitely thinking about ways to upgrade that so I can have more people, attend. I'm not quite there yet because I'm not trending and tracking at 100 each and every time. So, but stand by for that. But I do say in the meantime, register and log on early so that you don't lose a place. So look for that. Meet the Miniaturist with Fran Sussman, which is coming up on the 27th. I wonder if I can. I'm going to try one thing if you guys wouldn't want to bear with me. I want to try one more way of trying to get this image in this chat box. I guess not. Okay, that would be my last chance. I can't share images, but if you go to these links, you'll definitely see the images of things that I'm talking about. A very special Meet the Miniaturist is happening tomorrow. Well, sorry, before I'm getting ahead of myself. There are a couple of really interesting Meet the Miniaturists that are coming up over the next month or so, in an effort to sort of expand the thinking around the Meet the Miniaturist. So essentially, it started out as one-on-one meeting miniaturists who are making miniatures, learning about those folks, and I've sort of opened up to open studio events where we get to actually see the studios of the miniatures as they're working, meet the collectors. These are major collectors who have these beautiful collections, and so I'm opening up this Meet the Miniatures to meet the producers. So on January 31st, I'm just checking my notes, I will have Charlotte, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she runs the London Dollhouse Festival, and so I'm going to have her on. We're going to be talking about the miniature show circuit. We're going to be talking about the PIMA Awards, PIMA, Perfection in Miniature Awards, which she heads up. So she's going to be an amazing interview. So look for that. But as always, the replays will be available on my YouTube channel. So look for them there. And if you ever want to contribute to the ongoing development of these programs, please feel free to contribute to my channel. Donald's gonna put the link in there. It's just really a direct link to a PayPal account if you really want to just throw a contribution in there. That's always really appreciated. So on to the next thing, which is the Biggest Little Christmas Showdown. I don't know if you guys are tapped into this. This is a 4-episode series on HGTV, focus on making miniatures for Christmas. We just had our finale yesterday. I am on the show. I won my episode, which was episode 2, and I competed in the finale, and it was an awesome opportunity. Please go. It's actually up on YouTube right now. I don't know how long it's going to be up there, so I recommend, if you are interested in seeing the show, go click on YouTube. I think we have the link for that. And check it out. If you don't have HGTV or if you don't have cable service that gets you that channel, go and see it. But the big news around that is not only that the finale happened, which, by the way, I won't give you a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, but I could just tell you that we're going to have all of the winners from yesterday's show, including myself, my partner May Burnett, and the 2 other teams, Amanda Kelly and Bree, her fiance, and Desiree and her partner Savannah. If you're not familiar, those 2 ladies did a beautiful mid-century modern piece in episode 3, and Amanda and her partner did an amazing Hawaiian-themed miniature, Christmas miniature. So I'm going to have all of them on Sunday, tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I'm going to put the link in below. Register, and again, log on early to see this. It's going to be a fun interview. I'll be moderating it, but we'll be chatting with all of the contestants, sort of getting a behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to be on a reality TV show. We're going to talk about the miniatures that were made for the show. We really, folks didn't really get to see too much about the miniatures because it really is, at the end of the day, it was a reality show, a competition reality show, and the vehicle just happened to be miniatures, which I'm very, very happy for. But it really wasn't a lot about the miniatures, so it could be a little disappointing if you love the miniatures world and you don't really get to see too much of the miniatures. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to be talking about miniatures tomorrow, and more, and a lot about the how everybody was feeling just being on the show. So look for that. Going to put that link in there for you to definitely sign up. And what else? Okay, so that's it for Biggest Little Christmas Showdown. I did wanted to I wish I could show you these images. My Instagram account got hacked. Right after the show 2 weeks ago, my episode, I was flying high. I was feeling great. And my ego sort of got the best of me. And scammers got the best of me and took advantage of it. And I thought I was being given the coveted blue check certification verification. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but on social media channels, sometimes if you go and you see a blue check mark next to some accounts, it's one way of folks knowing that you are verified, that you are validated, like you are who you are. I thought I was getting one of those blue mark checks. Nope, they were scammers, and they got my account. They got access to my account. I basically lost my Instagram account. 40,000 followers gone in less than 60 minutes. And as you can imagine, I was freaking out. But I wrote a really a story about this. Check it out on my blog, on my website. Gives you a full account of what happened, and it's a really good learning piece as well. As much as it is just learning about what happened to me. But look for it. But the net is I have my account back. Thank goodness to Instagram and Facebook. They were very, very accommodating, and they really, really came through and helped me like you wouldn't believe. So look for that story if you're interested in understanding scammers and how not to get scammed, because I basically teach you what I should have known before all this happened. So I'm not seeing any more links coming through. Donald, if you wouldn't mind just either texting me or just sending me a, yes, this is good. You can put stuff in the comment section because I'm not seeing anything. So on to mini things and what's happening in the mini world. If you don't know, if you didn't see this, there's a guy in Seattle who recreated the Rosebud Motel from Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you guys are fans of Schitt's Creek, but it's a hugely popular show. I'm just going to check my because I'm not hearing from Donald. Donald, if you're on, just send me a text if you wouldn't mind. Or maybe if there's something wrong and you can't hear me for some reason. Okay. Thank you, Donald. He just sent me a text. It's whatever is happening is I'm not seeing the posts for whatever reason. So I'm going to keep going. So this guy built a sort of a mega miniature. It's small scale, but it's much larger scale than what we are used to seeing. But anyway, it's a really fun story. It's a fun little. Wow, I'm not getting text either. It's a fun little. It's fun. So yeah, we're gonna put the link in there. A couple of things. There's. If you guys know who Damien James Webb is, he's a really talented miniaturist. I've worked with him in the past for an event called Badass Miniatures. And he was recently featured on a podcast, and we're going to put the link in there if you want to hear a little bit more about his artistry and how he works. He was interviewed on a podcast, and there's actually another podcast. There's actually a miniaturist who's starting a podcast, and the name of her podcast is MicDropMiniatures. Look for her. Her name is Rachel Karpf. And she's got a few of them out there already, and she calls herself an obsessive miniaturist. She's also a graphic designer by trade out of Wisconsin, and she just loves all things miniature. And she started this podcast, and in this podcast, she's going to be interviewing miniaturists. And she sounds really sweet. I listened to a couple of them, and I really recommend you guys checking out if you're into the podcast thing. Definitely, zoom in and click into that and get her updates so that you don't miss her podcast. So that's two things happening in the podcast world with Miniaturist, which is really, really great. I also wanted to let you guys know, I don't know if you knew this, but a 70-piece collection of miniature pottery, it's basically dinnerware, that was made for Queen Mary's Dollhouse in the 1920s by the Thomas Goode Company is going up for sale. So drop this down. It's going up for sale through Sothebys. Like, I think it's happening now, but going through January. We're going to put the link in the box. You could look for that. If you are, if you got some cash to burn, they're saying, the articles that I've been seeing is that the collection of miniatures are supposed to get like $35,000. Not too shabby. And just so you know, this is not the set that's coming out of the Queen Mary's Dollhouse. This was actually the duplicate set that was made at the time, which is really, really smart. If you're going to make one set, you might as well make two. So this was the extra set that they made, that the Thomas Goode Company made at the time. And now they decided to sell it, which is a huge opportunity. I can't wait to see what it fetches. It could be really, really interesting. The other thing I wanted to mention is I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Stettheimer dollhouse, which is an incredible dollhouse on permanent view at the Museum of the City of New York. Well, there's two things happening. There was a Curators from the Couch sort of webinar interview between the museum's director and Simon Doonan, who is he's like a social media star. He's an interior designer. He worked for Barney's for many years. Barney's in New York, and he did all of the windows for Barney's. He's now married to Jonathan Adler, who's an interior designer in his own right. Anyway, so it's a really nice little talk between the two of them about the Stettheimer. I encourage you to go check that out. And, if you're in New York, there is a new exhibition around the Stettheimer called Stettheimer Up Front or Up Close. I did get to see it. It's awesome. I wrote a blog post about it, so look for that in my blog post. And I highly recommend going to see it if it isn't COVID restrictive. I would say go see it. So lots of podcast activity. New shows around dollhouses. Mini happenings around just fun things like miniature versions of Schitt's Creek. But I also wanted to mention there's also like a lot of really feel-good stories around miniatures and dollhouses over the last several weeks that I've kind of picked up on. One is the United Cerebral Palsy, UCP, United Cerebral Palsy, out of Huntsville, Alabama, is doing a benefit for their cause, and they've opened up to the community and asked businesses to renovate and refurbish a dollhouse and put that up for auction. So 15 dollhouses have been renovated and decorated by local businesses and banks and food stores, and it's just a lovely feel-good story. I think they're still available. They have not been sold yet, but I'll put the link in there, so you can check it out. And there was another dollhouse auction that was happening for a cause called the Hope House Adult Foster Care for persons living with HIV and AIDS who can't live independently. And this is out of Stillwater, Minnesota. And they raised $2,650 by selling a dollhouse from someone's collection, which is a really beautiful story. And also, if you were in on the Biggest Little Christmas Showdown, if you remember the piece that I did with May Burnett, it was a storybook structure, and HGTV is actually donating that to a children's charity. So details to follow on which charity that's going to. I will definitely announce it either here or on one of my emails, but we'll definitely let you know where it's going. But we're just so thrilled that it's going to go to a wonderful place and for a wonderful cause, and so look for that. I'm excited about that. And I'm sorry I can't see any of your comments. So I don't know if you're actually asking any questions right now, but in the meantime, I'm gonna try. Oh, there you are. I had to undo that. Okay, I see the links now. Operator error. That's me. Sorry. But yeah. Okay, I see the links now. So moving on, I will be doing a small talk history of miniatures. I don't know if some of you, I think, on here have been to them. I will be doing another one. This is a pay-for event. It's a lecture on the history of miniatures. I take folks through miniatures through the ages, all the way from, you know, the early days of the pharaohs all the way up through the modern era. I talk mostly about how miniatures have become this pop culture phenomenon, and it's fun for either even if you're a seasoned miniaturist or new and budding, and just being exposed to this tiny world. Anyone who attends my little lecture will walk away either being thrilled or newly encouraged or inspired. You're going to feel something no matter what part of the spectrum you come from after coming to one of my webinars. So I'm having another one January 3rd, which is kind of a, I don't know if it's a good time. If it's not, I think between Christmas and New Year's, most people are sort of just relaxing. It's kind of a great chance to just sort of curl up with a glass of wine or a hot cup of cocoa, pull up your iPad and just curl up on the couch and talk about miniatures. So look for that January 3rd. Going to put a link in the side box. And there's a couple of other things I'm working on. I'm still working on, definitely working on the mini club. So stay tuned for that. I haven't posted much product in my eBay account, but there's still some things that are there right now. I have some potential news coming in January with some collections that I'm working on selling. Of course, if you guys have a collection or know of somebody who's looking to either, liquidate a collection, definitely get in touch. I do this as a business, but it's really quite thrilling personally to sell a collection on behalf of either a family or a collector, because I just love working with families and I love working with the miniatures, obviously, but I also love to tell the stories about the miniatures. And one of the added benefits I think that I bring to the table for selling a collection on behalf of a family or collectors, at the end of the day, you can go anyway. You can go to an auction house, you can sell them yourself, or you can turn the collection over to someone like me. One of the things that I love to do is if the families agree, is tell the story of that person who created that collection, who built that collection. Because I think, a person spends their lifetime putting this collection together, and, I love to tell their story, and I love to honor them and all of the work that they put into finding those pieces, collecting those pieces, putting that assortment together, and just telling that story. So I really love to do that. And that, I think, is the difference between me and going to somewhere else to find someone else to sell on their behalf. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to take a couple of questions. Like I said, I don't want these things to go on for very long, but I'm going to also put all of my social media links in the comment section as well, in case you need to get to me. I'm very accessible. I'm very open to emails and direct messages, so definitely, reach out if you have a question, or if you want to give me a comment or feedback, or if you think I should cover something in one of these digital broadcasts, because I try to know everything that's going on in the mini world, but I don't. So definitely, like, let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Even if you belong to a mini club, what's a project that you're working on? I would love to spotlight, a mini club or two, and talk about what you're doing. So definitely reach out. Tell me what's going on. So I'm just going to go through some of the comments. Hi, Pensacola, Australia. How great is that you have joined all the way from there? So Donald wants to know where you can get my beanie. So I was selling merch at one time under my Squintbox brand, and I wasn't having great success with it. But if you guys really love it, let me know. Maybe I'll bring it back. I wasn't doing it under the D. Thomas brand, so maybe that has something to do with it. Kathy wants to know what this structure is. So this is one of my prized possessions. It is a Maitland Smith liquor cabinet made by the Maitland Smith Company out of the Carolinas. And it was built as a wet bar, but the proportions and the scale and the design, it's a Georgian townhouse design, is perfectly suited to hold miniatures. I had it actually in my retail shop, and and I don't have the retail shop anymore. I'm selling exclusively online now. But this is the one piece that I took from the retail shop, and I can never part with it. So yeah. So yeah, that's the structure. They are available. They become available on mostly through like auctions, and auction houses have them. Art galleries sell them sometimes. If you really want one of these, I would recommend putting your Google search in play and put Maitland Smith Dollhouse Cabinet in the search and have it alert you when one of these becomes available. The other thing is you can actually contact the Maitland Smith Company, and I don't think these are available off the shelf, but they might tell you where one might be available, or you might be able to have one built for you. So I can't tell you how much I love this piece, and if you love dollhouses and stuff like this, this is a prize. Hi Satanya, good to see you. I'm going to take two more questions and comments. So okay, so Christine is talking about Biggest Little Christmas Showdown. Likes to do generic room boxes, same materials, what people create. Cool, awesome, nice, good comment. And I'm at, oh, Dorothy. Dorothy is saying, new when it comes to, wait, I missed it. When it comes to miniatures, do some people use, good question, Dorothy. Do some people use 3D printers to make some miniatures? Yes, they do. And I'm working on trying to get a 3D miniaturist in on one of my Meet the Miniaturist episodes so that you can see it in action. But yes, that is actually one of the new technologies that are being employed today to make miniatures. So look for that. I'm going to definitely try to get one on and Meet the Miniaturist. Connie is saying that the Tucson Miniature Museum has one available for sale. Great info, Connie. I would get on that because these they don't sit for very long. So if you're looking for one of these, get on it. So Connie is saying you can find it at the Tucson Miniature Museum. Wow, that's good. 411. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thank you for joining this episode of Mini Views and News. And I encourage you guys to live your best mini life. And this is just one way to do it. All right. Have a great night, everybody.